Yeah, hello everybody. Welcome to a cold host of the Rex Tech Pub on a Sunday, December 28th. It is snowing and we are in a winter storm warning and we're supposed to get 3 to 6 inches of snow. So I got things done early this morning, things I needed to get out of here and things I wanted to get paid for and wanted to get a little bit of other things done today. I got done right before the storm hit, so it was good timing because I was keep an eye on the forecast, and it said within 40 minutes it's going to start snowing. It was a little late. It was like 48 minutes, and then it started snowing, and it's let up since then. It came down hard at first. Like, oh shit, we're in for it. And it's kind of let up a little bit, but we're still getting a lot of snow. And the wind's picking up, so yeah, it's not good weather here. It's extremely icy. I went out biking today, just to kind of test the sidewalks, so to speak. Um, they're very icy. Can't really touch the brakes, otherwise you just kind of just go kaboom, really quick. And I almost biffed it twice. So I felt my back end kind of let go on me, so I kind of had to just coast to a stop, so I couldn't go very fast. I was just kind of creeping along, but even at best, I think there's a vehicle in the parking lot over there that's backing up. So I just wanted to, get out, and I knew the storm was coming, and I said, now's my chance. I just didn't think it was going to be that icy. You could see the reflection of the road, or the reflection on the road. It was all ice covered roads and ice covered sidewalks. It was a very thin layer of it. But I could feel the ice. I knew it was extremely slippery. But I made it there and back, riding on ice without falling. Don't ask me how I did it. I don't know, 25 years of experience, I guess. I don't know. I just don't use my brakes, and I'm just very careful getting going from a stop. Because I've paid the price on that one, too. Oh, hello, Tim. You like my shirt? Yeah, that's my flannel. Yeah, that's what it kind of looked like to me too, Ken. It looked like that storm was gonna hit us, and it has for the most part. But yeah, we're in for it for 3 to 6 inches between now and tomorrow afternoon, around noon. So gonna snow all day, snow all night, and then snow up till about, I don't know, 11:30, noon, 12:15, and then kind of just slowly fizzle out. So yeah, how hard it snows, that depends on the snow. The wind patterns are kind of for. I saw this on Ryan Hollywell and that other Weather Channel guy that I was following. He said this is going to be a pattern for a while. That it's going to be nice for a couple of days, and then you're going to get the frigid cold. Then you're going to get the snow. Well, we had the frigid cold, and now we're going to have the snow. Then we're back to frigid cold because it's going to be now a high of 2 above on the first instead of 2 below. So they keep switching things around. They're not consistent on anything. Their weather star maps or whatever they do, or however they Doppler radar or whatever, must, I don't know, something changed because now they're saying it's going to be a high of 2 above on January 1st. But at first, I was talking to Ken on Zoom the other night. I said it was going to be a high of 2 below. Well, now they're saying high 2 above. So which is it? God. Inconsistency with the weather. It's a guessing game. They really don't know. They just keep following the pattern of whatever that Jet Stream or what their mathematicians come up to is what tells them it's going to be this or that, and oftentimes they're wrong. I just don't see how they can predict 10 days in advance. I just think it's a waste of time. Beyond anything beyond 3 days, I disregard it, because how are they going to know what the weather's going to do in 5 days? Whether they say it's going to be sunny or cloudy, how the hell do they really know? But anyhow, Ryan has a heck of a setup in his home for weather. Yeah, I'm sure he does. He's probably got stuff that I probably can't afford. I'm sure some of his equipment is expensive. Very expensive, I would imagine. Not to, say there's nothing in this apartment that's not expensive. I could point out quite a few things, but I'm not going to. But I have several items, that are worth a little bit of cash, but for the most part, people are just going to look in here and say, no, there's nothing here I want, and walk back out. They would be looking in here and looking for cash. They might take my laptop, but I don't know. They more than likely will, but anything else that looks technology based and a little bit more advanced than their small little brain cell can handle, they'll leave it alone. Oh, okay, there's a tour of a setup. I guess I'll have to. I'll have to catch that later because I can't play it during the live stream right now. And it's not letting me set up in a new tab or anything, or open it in a new tab. It's just. So I'll have to catch it after the live stream. Oh, Jeff Ryman. Richard Bardot passed away at 91. And who the hell is he? Or she? Or whatever. I'm not familiar with that name. Okay, female Bridget Bardot. It's a good thing to watch. Oh, okay. She was one of the original Sex Pistols. Yeah, some of the names they came out with bands back then, I that was one of them that just didn't make any sense to me. It just left me scratch my head. Like, why would you call yourself? Yeah, some of their music was okay. I wasn't a wasn't a big fan of theirs, but their music to me was kind of mediocre. I would listen to it just to listen to it, but actrice. Hmm. Yeah, it is. It is definitely snowing here. It's gonna, the wind picked up, so they're saying like blizzard-like conditions, but I don't see it getting any worse than what it is now. It's just snowing. I don't see the trees doing this. I don't see a lot of commotion outside. I just see moderate snow. It's not a really hard snowfall, but it is a light snowfall, steady. I think we're just gonna be looking at that for tonight, tomorrow, until tomorrow at noon. They're gonna wait till the snow plows get out and the roads get plowed and the sidewalks get plowed and shoveled. I probably won't get out till, I don't know, maybe Wednesday. Maybe. Depends on if the city gets their act together and gets Laurel Street sidewalk plowed. Sometimes they wait until the next morning on Tuesday morning. They got other places they got to do, and then they start doing. They might, yeah, they do get it done, the second day or the third day. I think they do done on social services. Their parking lot gets plowed. That's a cool tool ever set up. Yeah, like I said, I'll have to click on that link before I close or when I start shutting down the live stream. Last thing before I kill everything, I'll grab that link, and then that's after I've killed the live stream. I'll keep that open and I'll go back and grab the link. So with me and my perfect timing again, I got things timed just perfectly and got things done that I kind of needed to get done and kind of somewhat caught up for now. But that changes within hours. I'll be caught up. The next thing you know, I'll get 5 or 6 phone calls that changes everything. Thought I had just the next couple of days to sit back and relax, not worry about things. People call me and give me things to worry about. This is our due date for this happening, and we need to get it done. It's like, yeah. I usually don't agree to anything until they start talking about payments, but I know what they're asking for. They want me to do it for them or do whatever. And tell me you've seen my. I send them a sheet with the prices on it. I paid about 100 copies of that, and I sent it out to a bunch of people. So nobody can say that I didn't warn them that I charge for things like that. But I don't know. I'm not gonna do snow shoveling anymore because really it's my back. I really can't do that with much. How I feel after I do snow shoveling is really not worth the pain of going through all that just for snow. Yeah, the money is nice, but it's not. It's not worth putting me close. Not worth taking the risk of putting me in the hospital because I start kicking into muscle spasms or I get a pain on my left side where I usually do, and I don't like that pain. It is not fun, but that's after I do strenuous activities. Now, biking, for some reason, doesn't affect it. It's just like shoveling and where I'm moving and twisting my hips a lot. I'm doing other things like that. Um, Lifting piles of snow when I'm not really supposed to be. So that's one thing my doctor in the city's kind of talked to me about is just kind of easing up on the hard activities because it's at this point it's not doing my back any good. I got those 4 herniated discs and possibly a fifth. Because the last time he took X-rays, they see there might be another one that might be showing up. So I'll have to eventually treat that one too, but they can't get to it right now. They can just see it that it's there. Yeah, Yeah, I also hope to get, I'll be almost, what, 58. I can't believe I'm that old, but I don't really consider it old. I don't know what I consider my birthday anymore. It's just a day I acknowledge, I guess, and that's about as far as I go. But I do plan on, hopefully, I'll have more time off and more time to do whatever. Um, I'm gonna try to get up north, if not once, maybe twice. But I've been saying that for 3 years, get up there twice, and I've not been doing it. So I'm lucky if I get up there once. But I am hoping to get up there at least once this year. In fact, I will. I just won't be biking when the smoke is out. When the smoke is thick, like it was a couple times this summer, and then I had surgery, and then this last summer was kind of screwed up for me. Everything got in my way, so I couldn't go out biking like I wanted to. If it wasn't for the smoke, it was something else. And then I had to have hernia surgery, and then I had to have this done, and I had to do this, and then I had to go get the uh, lower lumbar cortisone injection shots down in the cities after that, and it was just a somersault of things this summer that just prevented me and getting on my bike and heading to north. But the number one thing that did stop me was the smoke. That was in April and May, perfect time for me to go. But I couldn't because there was a haze of smoke in the air. So hopefully this early spring, well, mid spring, late spring maybe, things will be better this year. I am going to get up north this year. I swear to God, 2026, I will get up north this year. One way or the other. I don't care. I will get up there. I will be biking up there. One way or the other. Somehow. Damn it. It's been 2 years now I haven't done this, so it's time for me to go. This summer. Hopefully I'll be on a new bike by then. Hopefully I can trade this one in and be on a new bike. That's what I'm hoping for. That smoke made it. Yeah, I know it made it to a lot of places in the United States. And the wind, it was carried by the wind. If it hadn't been that lovely thing called wind heading north southerly direction, you guys wouldn't have gotten it over there. Yeah, but that smoke sucked. That one morning, I thought it was gonna be nice and wonderful and lovely. Gonna be about 67 degrees, maybe 68. I was gonna try biking to Merrifield and back. I get up, open the drapes, pull up the blinds, and I just see this thick layer of smoke. So you've got to be kidding me. So I cracked the window open a little bit, stuck my nose to the crack of the. Yep, that's smoke. Slammed the window shut. Like, God damn it! Just when I thought about going, well, then that wasn't going to be that day, but I was thinking, probably going to go tomorrow, the next day. Never happened. I had that one chance, that one opportunity to go, and I should have taken it. But no, I stayed home instead, waiting for somebody that didn't show up that day. I kind of wasted my time. But there's going to be no excuses this year. One way or the other, I will get the F up north. So how's everybody's Sunday going, Ken? How are you doing? Yeah, it did have a weird smell to it. I don't know what it was. It was just kind of, yeah, that's kind of what it, yeah, it kind of smelled like that too. Smelled, to me, it smelled like some kind of plastic fiber. That's that name for that kind of plastic stuff, the fiber or whatever. That's what it kind of smelled like to me. But it kind of smelled like electronics at the same time. So it was a weird smell. It just, I don't know. And it was bad enough because even me just standing out there and my throat would start to get scratchy on the really smoky days. It would affect me. If it was really bad, really thick outside with smoke, I just stand out in the balcony for like 5 minutes, and if my throat starts getting sore, then I know I can't be outside with that. If it's affecting my throat from just standing on the balcony. Smoke has been that bad here temporarily. It doesn't last long. Usually the wind picks it up and carries it out of here, but for about 4 or 5 hours, you don't want to step outside. Even for me, as healthy as I am, I'm an avid bicyclist, and my lungs are, especially now that I quit smoking, my lungs have even gotten even better. But even that smoke pulled me back inside. No, I wasn't going to deal with that. No. Yeah, I can imagine people getting headaches. It wasn't the smoke to be toyed with. So most people just ran away from it, stayed inside. Problem is, you can't run the damn air conditioner. At least for me, it pulled that damn smoke in here. So most of the time, on them smoky days, I had to get the damn thing off. I'd start smelling the smoke coming up through the air conditioner. It's like, God damn it. So humid or not, hot or not, I had to shut it off and crack the window open. Well, then I couldn't keep that open because then it would start smelling like smoke in here. So there was a couple of bad days up here when the smoke was really, really, really bad. I kind of got screwed out of using the air conditioner, and I couldn't open the window. So it only happened once, almost twice, but the second time wasn't quite as bad, but it was getting there. And I never thought that the smoke would get that bad or that thick up here, but that day it was. The fans of the air conditioner was actually being able to pull in physical thick smoke. It's like, jeez. I was sitting here and all I was smelling was smoke getting blown at my face. Like, okay, I had to shut it off. I need to get my air conditioner serviced one of these days. I just don't know if that. I should go back over to the Northeast one of these days and see if that Sears company's store is still there. That's where I bought this from in Northeast. That Sears something store. I don't know. I don't think they're there anymore. Mm. It's been running for like 3 years, almost back 4 years. And it's been going pretty good, but I need to have it checked out this winter. Make sure it's still up to pressure and still has all the freon it needs to have. I'm sure it does, but I know it needs a good cleaning. Inside fan, if I look in the inside from the front, at the squirrel cage fan, used to be nice, clear, and bright. Now it's all dark and ugly. So I need to need someone to clean pressure wash the air conditioner. And take the hose and spray it into the front and get that fan clean. It's getting nasty. And the walls behind that squirrel cage fan are kind of getting a little bit dark, which means it's starting to pick up dust and dirt and it's sticking to the walls. So I won't let mine get as dirty as I've seen some people let their air conditioners, their window air conditioners. They just look downright disgusting. So I'm gonna get mine serviced and gonna get it clean this winter. There are some days, even up here, that it's so humid you've got to have the air conditioner running. You don't have a choice. And these kind of apartments, they get so hot, and once the heat gets in here, it gets trapped in here, so it gets hot and it stays hot. Even if you have fans running around, that all you're doing is circulating the hot air. The only choice we have is to get an air conditioner for these apartments because they get so. I was here the first 3 nights without an air conditioner. I moved here in August, and it was still in the upper 60s, close to 70 degrees at night. Got down to like 64, and it was hot and humid. Ugh. That's when I just finally said, you know what, screw it, I'm getting an air conditioner. William's office. Ken, how office design going? Ken is designing an office for you. I don't think I'm reading that right, so. It is on hold. Free on cost and arm and a leg today. Yeah, it is. It's expensive. But I don't think I'll have to recharge it much. But I'll tell him if you think it needs a little bit, put a little bit in there. But, if it's anything over a pound, then you might want to come over and talk to me and just. Then I need to replace my microwave because the inside bulb don't work anymore. And yes, I know I could replace it, but I'm not going to. And the turntable doesn't work anymore, so that microwave is slowly dying. It's having a very slow, probably very painful death. I'm just gonna use it until I hit that start button and it goes kaboom. One of these days it'll do that. I've had them do that before. It's gonna something blows in them. Hit that start button, you hear a flash and a bang, and that's it. That microwave over there is on the edge. One of these days, it's just not gonna fly. So I'm not only in the market for a printer, and I'm still arguing with people that you cannot just get a black and white nowadays. Um, not at least not the kind she wants me to have. Um, all set with 3 pieces. Yeah, I'm sure I could get a black and white printer, but all in ones, I don't think you can do that. So I'm just gonna. There is no expensive inkjet out there because she told me to go up in price on the ink, and there's no such thing as a better inkjet. What I need to do is go up to the LaserJet, but that's spending 200 some dollars for a LaserJet printer. But I don't know. I don't know if that's gonna last me any longer than what the inkjet will. So I really don't know on that one. Trying to get people to leave me alone, and I've got a live stream that I'm doing right now that they need to get a hold of me later. This is the second person I've told to buzz off. Literally, I mean, I'm not very nice about it when they're interrupting my live stream. They keep sending me a message, hey Rick, and waving hands at both sides of the message. So I just got done snapping back at somebody. I said, idiot, I'm on a live stream. Oh. I forgot. No, he didn't forget. He just thinks that I'm paying attention to the phone, which I am. And there goes the sheriff's department going racing across the bridge. There's so much snow on the road that it kind of acted like he was going down a dirt road. And how the dirt kind of swirls up behind the car. That's what it was, and that sheriff going across the bridge. Swirling snow, picking up behind the. They're in a hurry to get somewhere. Let's see here. Ski Man's here. Ken is here. That deal. Hey, Rick. Hello. Williams office. Inkjets. Yeah, I'm going to be doing a little bit more printing because there's some things that I'm doing for my travel band office. What the hell's going on? All kinds of sirens going off all of a sudden. Yeah, sheriff. Well, I hope they get to wherever they're going there and back in one piece without getting into an accident because I'm sure they're aware of the fact that it's very icy outside. The roads are icy, the sidewalks are a mess. Yeah, I don't know. I just don't like spending money on equipment. That's my downfall. I know there's things I need to get, but I just don't want to pay the money. I don't want to spend the money for it. Yeah, I know I need a new printer, but damn it. Oh, but one of these days, yes, I'll order a printer. Same with a router. I know one of these days, probably, I don't know, one of these, what router am I going to order out there that's going to have secure updates beyond more than two? I don't think there's a lot of routers out there that do that. But I'll probably stick with 6E because really there's no reason for me to be on 7. I have nothing here that would use 7, Wi-Fi 7. So 6E and Ethernet, everything's wired here anyhow. Even my laptop is wired. I just don't like using Wi-Fi. It's just the only reason I have Wi-Fi is for my phone. But I could do without it. I could shut the Wi-Fi off on this phone, still go about my day doing things, and the signal's probably a little weak because it has to search further for a signal instead of using the router that's 2.5 feet above it. Maybe 3, 4 feet by now. It's up there. It's on the top of the shelf on this desk. Well, otherwise, I wouldn't use Wi-Fi at all if it weren't for the damn phone. I really don't trust Wi-Fi that much. I mean, I do to a point, but there's too many people out there poking holes in it. Oh, I know it won't be for a standard for a while, but I don't know. All the faster speeds that they're offering, somebody's got to pay for it. Usually it's the consumer. If they want them faster speeds, they got to pay a higher price. And most people that I know won't do the higher price. They'll just do the basic, just barely to keep them running, and that's it. They're paying, what, $40 just for that alone? And I'm paying, what, 50 or 40, forget what my bill is, but They'll pay the minimums, even the people around here and people around town. They'll just get the basic package where they just get the basic internet. People around here aren't using the internet for speed. They're just using it for work to get something done. Using it for schoolwork. We don't have a lot of people that do overclocking here. In fact, a lot of people. There's a few people around here, the guys that I hang out with. They know what it is, but they say, why get into that? It's just a numbers game. Numbers game till your CPU blows, and that's not a fair bet. So mine's good enough. Mine runs fine, just the way I want it to. Gets up to 5.2, maybe 5.3 on some good days. But this one here gets up to maybe 4.7. So I got two computers that are running decently well, especially the one in the bedroom. And that's the Ferrari out of any of the computers around here because it runs the fastest. Yeah, 200 feet under your yard. Yeah, I can get a signal on my Wi-Fi almost till I get up to the elevators. So I can walk out that front door, close it, and I can be watching my phone to watch when the Wi-Fi disconnects. Almost get to the elevator before it loses my signal for the Wi-Fi. I get almost to the elevator and then it says signal disconnected. Like, yeah, finally. So it's got quite the reach out there. Well, that's because it's way the hell up there. People have told me put the router as high as you can get it. What's your tallest object in your apartment? My desk in my living room said put it up on top of that. Like, okay. But holy shit, that signal stretched for quite a ways. Like I said, I almost have to get almost to the elevators. And then I see finally signal disconnected. Almost up to the elevators. About a foot or 2.5 feet before I'm getting up to where I can push the down button. And I see the signal disconnects. So this router alone, it has a good enough throw that. But I don't have to worry about people in this building. There are some people probably capable of getting away with it, knowing how to do it, but they're not going to bother. Modern routers have better security. Yeah. Then more I don't know. I think I can skim by for a little bit longer. I've made it this far. I just don't want the rumor getting out that I'm running an unsecured hardware. I just don't see anything out there that I really need. I'm only running maybe 10, 10 meg down and maybe 5 or 7 up. But even that, it's kind of struggling on the up signal. When on the down, I get maybe 10, maybe 12 on a good day. Supposed to be getting 100, but this building apparently can't even do that on the DSL. The wires in this building just can't handle the signal. So, Yeah, even if it were to come faster or slower to us, well, slower, yes. When the signal decreases to almost nothing, we do notice that. But as far as things going from we're not going to notice that. Our eyes aren't that good enough, but they do notice when it slows down, but they don't notice it. Ours ain't quite good enough to notice that change from one to the other. At least my eyes aren't. I can't notice anything. From 1 megahertz setting to another. My eyes, 4K, 1080. 4K is probably be the last thing I have in my life. There's just all that high tech stuff like 4K and just leaving bigger files. I mean, I use 2K when I use my GoPro Hero 12. I do use because it makes a bigger file, so I don't have to put so many things together in DaVinci. So many clips. I can usually get for a half hour. I can get usually 2 clips, 2 previews, and I can just snap them together in DaVinci, and then edit that. But if I use 1080, I'll get about probably maybe 3 out of it. Sometimes 4, but I don't like having that many, so I usually use 2K. Bigger files, but I get less of them. Well, you are changing your parameters. Changing the parameters? Yeah, don't take us too far into the weeds there, Long Dog. You're gonna lose people. Except for me, I understand what you're doing. But there's a lot of other people you're gonna leave them in the weeds. They're not gonna understand you. Several videos at once. Yeah, I can watch several videos at once. I'm gonna be watching 2 different ones in the bedroom, and I can be out here in the computer in here at night with the 2 videos in the bedroom running. I can be on Zoom. Plus, I can be watching a separate YouTube video on this computer too. So yeah, I can chew up bandwidth. Believe me, I'm good at that. I can go right to the edge of my bandwidth and kind of push the envelope. Cause yeah, I can do it. Why? I don't understand why having. I know people that do it. Like I think Darren, he's one that'll have 9 or 10 YouTube videos running, maybe more. That's doing too much. That's being a little too busy. Yes, I can do it, but why? Unless I'm trying to watch someone's live stream and watch several live streams at once, which I don't quite get. I understand the reason why people would do that, but it get confusing for me. But then you set it and forget it. That's what people are doing, just to give them the watch hours, which I can understand that. I do that with a few people. Missy's channel, she's one that she's got a video that's like a half hour or more. Then I'll just set the live stream, set it, and you set it and forget it, and half hour later I'll come back, or I'll sit there and I'll watch it. I like some of her Christmas stuff that she's been doing. So I've been watching that a little bit, but I try watching a video on YouTube or doing something on YouTube or coming out here and doing something, and the next thing I know, this phone starts ringing. Can you do this? So you got the price for it? You got the money for it? Some people just said, I don't know. I think there's another guy in my building I'm not going to be helping anymore because he's getting more and more stubborn about wanting to pay me, and he said I should be a free service to every American in the United States. Like, how am I supposed to make a living on doing this for free? He couldn't answer that question, but he didn't like it that I was charging what I was charging, and I told him, then go find somebody cheaper. I think I'm about the cheapest around, more available, even though I'm not $65 and up anymore. I've gone up in price since then, but if he calls Bob, that's I think he's $90 some an hour. So I'm kind of in between 60 and 90. I'm not gonna tell you what, but I'm kind of in between some of those, but but I'm geared more towards the business end of it. Yeah, I do residential once in a while, but they need to call Nate. Nate's more accustomed to doing that kind of work with people. Simply because he takes the excuse they've got no other choice. So he'll take the low hanging fruit. I'll go for something. I'll go fishing for something better. I just can't guarantee getting paid in this building, and people saying that, well, can you wait till tomorrow? It's like, no, I can't wait till tomorrow. Well, you're gonna have to. Like, why didn't you tell me before? Because you wouldn't fix my computer if I had told you that. It's like, you're right, I wouldn't have. And of course, the next morning he wasn't around anywhere to be found, so I went down and knocked on his door twice. So I quickly marked him off the schedule for helping. Come on, people. I'm doing a live stream. Leave me alone. What am I doing? I just told you what I'm doing. Never mind. Ignore these people that are deciding to bug me. She keeps asking me, what are you doing? I just told you what I'm doing. Do you not understand? And a lot of people I say that to, they don't understand. It's like some of my mom's friends are calling me, asking me questions, and I said, I'm on a live stream. On YouTube live stream, do you not understand what that means? And a lot of them come back to me saying, no, I don't know what you're talking about. I'll get back to you in a half hour. And then when I do explain it to them, they still don't quite get it. It's like, what do you mean live? Oh my God. You really have to make it that confusing? I mean, people break down the words word for word. They want an explanation for every single word. What do you mean live? What is a stream? What is a live stream? They just end up chasing their tail out. I just sit there and as they're trying to figure it out, I just lean up against the wall and I'm just kind of slowly chuckling at them because they can't figure it out, but yet they're trying to. All they're doing is just chasing their tail. And it's the funniest thing, people trying to figure that out. Some people, they just don't get it. And I don't know what to tell them to help them understand if they can't understand that. What do you say to somebody when they ask you, what do you mean with a live stream? What is a stream? What is a stream live? Live stream, what is that connection to what? And what is YouTube, by the way? It's like, oh my God, really? I think that lady lost her sanity for a minute because she snapped out of it. She says, oh yeah, okay, yeah, YouTube, but still, what's YouTube and live stream or streams that are live? What? I said, just look it up on the internet. The internet will be able to do a better job of explaining that than I can. I'm just a content creator. And then she scratches her head on that one. Well, now you're adding ingredients that I don't know about. Now you're saying creator. What does that mean? Like, 1 hour later, after trying to dreadfully explain it to her, I think I made that much of a difference in getting her to understand it. I just don't think she can grasp what I was telling her. She just wasn't understanding. She doesn't have a computer. At best, she has a phone, but she's always asking questions. How do I do this on a phone? It's like, it's really simple. But for her, she can't comprehend how to do that because I keep having to go down to her apartment, explaining the same damn thing that I explained the 2 days before. Could you explain that to me again? I seem to have forgotten. You seem to have forgotten, but you remembered that you forgot, but you can't remember when I told you how to do it on the phone. She wobbled her eyes in her head for a couple of seconds, and then she stared at me and said, no. Okay. Uh, so that's the sad reality of why I'm going up the ladder, up the food chain on clients, because people like that, I just don't need to be wasting my time with them. Like I said, Nate he lives on 10th floor. I think he can deal with some of these people that just common sense in their head and understanding things. It's just not there. You would think it would. You would think they're intelligent just by everyday average conversation until it comes to computer stuff, and they're just completely lost. But then there's some others here that do quite well. They just need a couple questions reassured to them that they're doing it right. Because they will ask me, can I be doing it or should I be doing it this way or that way? Which tells me they've done it several ways before, but now they're wondering if they can actually do it this way or that way. Which kind of tells me they kind of have a brain cell in their head because they've actually done stuff like that before. So usually I have them pick one way or the other, even though they can adapt to both ways. I usually say pick either or. Don't try to do two things or try to remember how to do two. Try to keep it simple. You remember that KISS symbol, the KISS. What that stood for? Keep it simple, stupid. That's what I try to gear people down to is just keeping it simple, keeping your workload at an even level, even pace, kind of a thing. So your productivity is about the same every day. So you don't, get slowed down by trying to figure out things on the computer. I know you the group KISS. Well, KISS also stands for an abbreviation K dot I dot S dot S, I think. And it's keep it simple, stupid. It's I try to keep things easy for people so they don't get lost in the weeds. I don't like throwing them language they can't understand. I can give them garbly good talk, jibber jabber of tech talk, but their eyeballs would just swim in their head if I did that. Which reminds me, I need to get that other board so I can get it over to Bob's, and I need to see if I can replace a few things on the board. Do a little bit of soldering, cleaning up a few bridge points in the board. And doohickey. And doohickey for a whatchamacallit. That's what I used to say when I was in junior high. Doohickey for a whatchamacallit. And most adults back then, when you say that to them, they would just spin their heads like, "What did you say? To doohickey for a whatchamacallit?" And there was a candy bar that was called whatchamacallit. And then we went to, when I was a teenager, I think I was 12 or 13 years old. We went roller skating. And this, because I was talking about whatchamacallits, even before the candy bar came out. And this one guy came walking out holding a candy bar, and he said, "You've got to be kidding me. You were talking about whatchamacallit a year or so ago." And he pointed the candy bar to me, and I looked at it, and I said, "Whatchamacallit?" And I said, "Yeah, I'm not surprised." He just turned around, scratching his head, like he thought I had something to do with that candy bar. He could have swore up and down I had something to do with that candy bar coming out, because I was saying whatchamacallit long before that candy bar came out. And he just found it oddly very odd that I was talking about whatchamacallit, and then a whatchamacallit candy bar comes out that very next summer. And he thought I had something to do with whatchamacallit candy bars. Like, no, thank you for asking. Oh my God. Yeah, it was the 80s. People came up with some crazy, wacky ideas back then, even for a 13-year-old kid. Thinking I was responsible for the whatchamacallit candy bar. I had nothing to do with it. I didn't even know where that word whatchamacallit started from. I got that, I think, from somebody else. We're making up ways of saying a whatchamacallit for a doohickey thing, because the doohickey thing would be for something we didn't understand what it was or what it said, or just not understanding. And I mean, me and the kids thought of something to say, something like that, and that's what we came up with. A whatchamacallit for a doohickey thing. What's the doohickey thing? I don't know. What's the whatchamacallit? Well, the whatchamacallit's the doohickey thing. But you don't know what the doohickey thing is. So how do you know what the whatchamacallit is? And we'd get ourselves in that tail run of getting ourselves so confused, because you tried to answer each question, and the deeper we went, the further we went. You couldn't answer either one. And we got most adults swimming, their heads swimming, when we'd ask them those 3 or 4 questions. They were just beside themselves trying to answer it. Even trying to come up with one answer for what's the doohickey thing. If the doohickey can't do, if the doohickey thing can't do the whatchamacallit, then what's the whatchamacallit doing the doohickey thing? And most parents and adults' heads would be swimming. They say, "What are you trying to ask?" Nothing. Yeah. Some other adults didn't take it so well, and they got them, especially teachers. Try talking to a teacher like that, and then that didn't fly over too well with teachers. But most adults out of school, you tell them that, they just couldn't understand what you were trying to say. We didn't either. That's why we were asking, "What's the doohickey thing for the whatchamacallit, and the whatchamacallit does for the doohickey thing?" It was like, what? Nothing. We only had to say it once, and yeah. But anyhow, the doohickey is an electrical box for a lightning candle circuit. Lightning box circuit, something like that. The component that helps install the light properly. See, man, who's on first? Yeah, I didn't know there was such a component that was called that. Doohickey. I didn't know that. I'm not an electrician. But folks, it is 2:59. It is now 3 o'clock. Wow, where did the hour go? Well, I know where I'm gonna go. I'm gonna get off here, and these people are not paying attention to me. I told them to leave me alone, and they're not paying attention. So there's one person that's going to get my attention, and he's not going to like what I'm going to tell him. Anyhow, I've talked long enough. I've talked too long. Oh, let's check the calendar really quick. Today's Sunday. That means tomorrow's Monday. Oh, just another Manic Monday. Wish it was Sunday. That's my fun day. Yeah, Monday. Oh. Yeah, I know that bulletin I sent out the other day for Northeast, that Northeast when I do the shoveling the 3 blocks. I don't think that message got to everybody. So I know I'm gonna get a bunch of emails about that. So if am I still doing the shoveling? It's like, no, you should have gotten a notice saying that I'm not doing that this year or anymore. There's the other 4 or 5 people you can call that if you want your sidewalk in your area shoveled, then they'll start at one end and work all the way down. So anyhow, tomorrow's Monday. There will be a live stream tomorrow. Same time, same place. I don't know what we'll talk about, but we'll figure that out as we go. But until then, guys, I will see you all later, and bye for now.